It's still good morning to me.
Right? It's still the morning.
Happy Sunday at the con. We made it. We're almost there.
It's almost done.
Yeah. I met some of you guys this morning at the signing at 10 a.m., which is crazy for all of us.
Right?
Let me see how many names I can remember. I can remember a good amount, I think. Haley and Sloan. They have private school names, and they actually go to private school, which is crazy. Bolin. Real name Izzy? Yes. I see it, pretty good. Shanoa, what's up? Maya, I'm doing pretty good, and I'm like hungover. It's pretty good.
Oh my God! Don't.
So this is a Q&A. It's really more of a Q&A. It's more just us hanging out. So whatever you guys want to talk about. I think Ruben was here before me, and he's really smart.
Yeah.
I think his panel is like the theory of everything or something like that. And this is the theory of nothing. So what do you guys want to talk about? Any questions? Talk about my career or whatever, or we can talk about your career. Yes, Berlin, what's going down?
So there's a petition going on right now regarding the Legend of Korra or The Last Airbender.
Right.
Would you consider coming back if they ever actually go ahead with it?
Oh yeah. Who's the petition? Oh, it's an online petition?
Yeah, we're still, so it's just people, fans.
Oh, because the shows are gone.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So would you
Yeah, they're gonna bring it back. They have to bring it back, right?
I hope.
I mean, I talked to Mike and Brian about it. We had lunch right a week or two before the last episode. And they were like, yeah, I can't believe we're finishing a whole nother series. And I asked them what they're gonna do. We're gonna take a break for a while.
Oh, that's...
So yeah, I mean, they've been working hard for 10 years, 10 plus years, so.
Yeah, they earned it.
They earned a break, and I'm sure, they're very creative guys. I'm sure they want to do some other stories or whatnot, but it's such a great story, I don't doubt that sooner or later they're gonna get back to it. Plus, it's made Nickelodeon so much money. When franchises usually make money, they usually want to
keep going
till they kill it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it'll come back sooner or later.
There is going to be a Korra comic book.
There is going to be a Korra comic, and there's the first Gangs comic that's going on, which is cool. I voiced some of the pieces of the comic on my YouTube, which it's just kind of weird because you don't want to get any spoilers of certain things, especially like Zuko's mom and stuff, but. Still kind of cool. I want to get with Gray and do some of the banters back and forth. Siblings. Questions? Yes.
How was it working on Hook years ago? Because that was one of my favorite movies.
Hook? How was it working on Hook?
Yeah.
It was fun. I mean, Hook is one of those movies where, everyone who comes to Hollywood, everyone wants to be in that big movie, right? Be in a big Hollywood movie. And when I did Hook, I was a kid, but it was it's everything that you dream of going to Hollywood to do. It's like Hook. It was, because Hook was directed by Steven Spielberg, was still one of the biggest directors in the world, had some of the biggest stars in Hollywood with Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman, Julia Roberts, and the list goes on. And then the cool thing about it was before CGI, and so everything you see in the movie was
Done by real.
Yeah, it's real. It's they built all those sets, all of our costumes, all the swords, all these pirates. You walk into, we shot on Sony Studios, so you walk into a soundstage and it was a pirate ship in water, on the soundstage. That was our playground, which is crazy. And then the Never Tree and Neverland, walking around Neverland. And the other cool thing was it was such a big movie and all these. And it's Peter Pan, so everybody loves Peter Pan, right? So everyone came and visited the set. Literally, I still have a guest book. They gave us a copy of the guest book of all the stars that came and wanted to just come hang out at the set. And everybody from Robert De Niro and Michael Jackson and Prince and Madonna.
Awesome.
People just coming by the set to just watch you act and I don't freaking know, playing Neverland themselves. We're all big kids, so it's going back to Neverland. It's the coolest concept. But one of the saddest days when at the end of shooting, you would see them tear down the sets and they were tearing down the pirate ship. It's it's so sad.
Yeah, I couldn't really. When Rufio died, that was kind of hard.
Yeah, Rufio died. It was kind of sad.
That was hard for me. I hated watching that.
I know. You know what's weird is it's a kids movie and then you kill a kid.
Yeah.
It's so Right? And I remember when, because I wasn't originally supposed to die, there was like all these, they were like writing the movie as we were doing it, and so there was like parts where we came back to the real world with Peter Manning, and we all looked regular, which is kind of weird, and then they finally decided, oh no, we're gonna kill Rufio, and I was like, wow. How does this work? I talked to the writer, J.B. Hart, years later, and the whole thing, he said, the reason why we had to kill you is because, you know, the movie's a kid's film, but in order to get Peter Pan to understand, like, there's real danger in Neverland, to get his kids home. Otherwise, it's just like fun and games and like the Lost Boys shooting like gun drops and eggs at people, at pirates. But then when you actually kill a kid, all of a sudden it got really real.
Yeah, right.
What's also weird is it's so traumatic for a certain generation that grew up with the movie and watched the movie in theaters with their parents and stuff. It's like the first time they saw anybody die.
Yeah.
And a kid, they're like, oh my God, you killed Rufio. I think that's one of the reasons why Rufio became this kind of classic character and iconic in his own way. So, you know, long live Rufio.
Yeah, right.
Questions? Yes.
Okay, so you were in Nostalgia Critics Review for the top 10 best Avatar episodes.
Yes.
And how is it like working with Doug and Rob and Tamara and Malcolm, given that he gave Hook a bad review?
Yeah. I don't know. They're awesome. I love them. I mean, those guys are great. And he gave Avatar a great review.
Yeah?
And he gave a great review. They're just cool dudes. They're like, you know, they're brothers and it's a family and all that kind of stuff. And I grew up with all my brothers. We're all act together and dance together and band together. And so we still work together a lot. So working with them is like working with family. And I kind of appreciate that because that's how I grew up. And they're so creative and they're so amazing. I don't really sweat reviews, you know, critics, even the nostalgia critic. As artists, you can't really trip on critique that much. You know what you did and what a part of what you're doing. And their job is to critique people and things you do can be good or bad. My thing always is like, to actors, artists, any of us, now we're all online, right? Like now we're all in the public eye. And a lot of times people get depressed because someone can say something bad about them online or a bad review, you know. But what you gotta realize is we're not, you know, no one's that bad. No one's as bad as anyone says they are. But then also, you're probably not as good as anyone says you are either. So
Yeah, true.
that's the
Both
thing,
ways.
like, you can't really put stock in the bad stuff. You can't really put too much stock in like whatever, like Instagram likes and stuff.
Gotta
like
be
that.
humble.
It's all good, it's all flattering, but in the end, just kind of know who you are. So kind of mellow like that. And it doesn't really, and it don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? It's like whether you liked or disliked something I did doesn't really mean you like or dislike me personally, hopefully.
No.
Maybe you do.
No,
Questions?
never.
Questions? What y'all want to talk about? Maya, what you want to talk about?
Jake Long.
Jake Long is the man.
Was it like, did you make up your own raps for that show? Because I know there's an episode where you have a rap.
Yeah, there was a lot. With Jake, we made up a bunch of stuff, you know? You guys, anybody know Jake Long, the
Yes.
Dragon?
Yeah.
I love that show. So I always, you know, people always are like, because they're like my t-shirt company and like my tongue's like Rufio Zuko, and it's like really kind of iconic characters from different parts of my career. And everyone was like, what about Jake Long? And I forget about Jake. I don't forget about him, but someone did remind me at a panel, like, you know, you originated an original Disney character. It's kind of big. And I was like, yeah, that is kind of big. Forget about that. I love Jake because people always ask, like, if you're one of your characters, like, who are you the closest to? Like being like Dante. And it's Jake. Like, that was like me, like this kind of cool kid. I didn't really skate, I was more of a break dancer, but kind of the same thing with friends like that. And I did improv a lot during Jake Long. And sometimes, I don't think Disney even knew what we were saying. We would just make up. We were just saying slang and all kinds of stuff. I remember when we first did it and we did a press tour for Disney, and they put me on the microphone for like the foreign press and stuff. And I was like, yo, I'm so happy that Disney has a hip hop show, you know? Then I'm like starring in this hip hop show for Disney. It's so amazing. I'm a hip hop kid, and I grew up like this, And the president of Disney's like, I didn't know we had a hip hop show. And I was like, yeah, I'm the star of your show. It's hip hop for sure. And so me and the girl who played her Kitty was her real name's Kitty. I can't forget the character's name. Trixie, yeah. We would just not make up, but we were like urban cats. So we were just like talking all kinds of urban stuff and lingo. And I'm like, this is not gonna get through. And it got through like half the time. And all the raps were, we just made them up, you know? And even the rap for the title song, right? It's so funny, and it's kind of like old school hip hop. And that wasn't even me, that was the producer at the time, not the producer of the show, but like one of the executives at Disney was there, and we were doing the song, and I think one of the Jonas Brothers sang it, right?
No, somebody from Disney
American
did.
Dragon, like they're
Yeah,
singing and stuff.
somebody from Disney.
They're like, we need a rap here.
Not
And I was like
Disney.
trying to write raps, and this guy's like an older dude, and he loves like 80s rap. He goes, you should do it like Run DMC. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, it should be like da 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 da. I was like, oh, and then we wrote, it's the J to the A to the K to the E. I'm the Mac Daddy Dragon of the NYC. You heard?
Oh, brings back memories.
Questions? What y'all want to talk about? Yes.
What is the hardest choreography you've ever had to learn?
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I was a dancer, right? So, I got to come back to dance to do Take the Lead, which I loved. And that last tango scene was pretty hard. That was pretty intense. That particular scene, that's one of the top ones for sure, because it was so, I mean, I'm a break dancer, and then Take the Lead, we had to learn how to ballroom dance, right? So we got flown out to, we were shot in Toronto, and they flew us out 4 weeks early just to learn how to dance. Like, and I mean, I could dance, but I like not that kind of dancing. I was so sore. At night, I'd go home and like soak in bath salt some nights. Because it was like, this kind of dancing, you don't use regular, I don't know, like, I don't know. It's the different group of muscles, like your butt muscles. Like my butt hurt. Yeah. And then, so the tango, you have to learn tango, which is pretty intense. But also, I remember when I was doing that scene, we're like, it's in the middle of the night, we're like doing it over and over again. And I remember telling Jenna Dewan and Elijah, who are my partners in that scene, I'm like, yo, this is my Grease. And they're like, what? I was like, this is my Grease. Like, I grew up watching Grease every day. It's like one of those movies that I grew up loving, and probably one of the movies that made me want to become an actor. And it's a musical, right? And all these dance numbers, so I'm like, this is like my chance to do a dance number in a movie. And I was so excited. I was like so excited about it. So I'm glad it came out really well. But growing up, choreography, we were doing all kinds of breakdance routines, and those were always pretty crazy. And then I did the Nutcracker at San Francisco Ballet Company, and that was pretty hard. So choreography is always kind of hard. Are you a dancer?
Not for a long time.
Not for a long time? Me neither, not for a long time. But we can still get down. For sure.
Depends on if you're still flexible, right?
Totally. Or if the music is good. If the music's good, I can accomplish anything. Maybe. Questions?
Too much.
Yeah. Zuko, what's up?
Alright, so I have one for you. It's, what's a step to becoming an actor or a voice actor that you wouldn't be able to Google in your experience?
A step to becoming an actor or voice actor that you wouldn't be able to Google?
That's a good question.
I don't know, that's a good question. I don't know, a step, I don't know. For me, I started so young. I started as a break dancer, so that's a step that almost nobody takes. But that's a lot of steps. I don't know, any step, you can't Google anything. The main basic thing for young actors that want to become actors is like, go act. Like, no matter, I know everyone wants to get to Hollywood or New York and wants to get to Broadway or movies and films, and you can ultimately get there, but it all starts at you becoming an actor, which means go study, get on stage, do some acting, see if it feels good to you, you know what I'm saying? Of course when you go to cons, there's a lot of artistic people and part of getting in cosplay and part of is starting to create character work, which is beautiful. The step to go past that is to actually jump into an acting class. A lot of people have been in theater classes and whatnot in high school. Go beyond that, go to a play, get into an improv class, just feel acting and see if it's something you like, the taste of for you. And then once you see if you like it, get good. And once you get like good, you know, and you know, it's not about someone telling you you're good, not about getting an award. You know, you start to understand if you're good or not. And once you know if you're good or not, come to LA, go to New York, like jump into the big game. I mean, it's gonna be hard. There's a lot of competition.
Yep.
And there is a lot of luck that's involved in making it or not making it, whatever that means to you. But the one thing about luck is the better you get, the more lucky you are, you know? So it kind of sounds easy, but it is, you know? Someone said it just comes down to like, I wanted to do it, I practiced at it, I got good, and now I can do it. It almost gets that easy. Sometimes people just wipe away all the madness of chasing fame and fortune and ego and stuff, which is a part of it. It happens. We all go through it, but in the end, just get good at it. Get good at acting. Yes?
What's your favorite medium to work in?
My favorite medium, it depends. I mean, it's all different, you know what I'm saying? Of course, like movies are awesome because you're like, you know, you get to do these cool characters that like take a few, like an hour and a half, 2 hours to kind of get to a full story arc, and it's kind of painting in that way, right? TV has become great if you're on a great show because now you got, a movie's like an hour, like 90 minutes, 2 hours. A great series could be, Avatar was like years to tell the story, so that's great. But I'm also like, I'm a poet and I write, and so that's cool too. When you need to write, you know. Like I'd rather write a girl poem than like do a monologue tour or something. Let me do this monologue for you. That's not gonna work. And I was a musician for a lot of years, so it's hard to say what medium. I think as an artist, for me, the whole thing about being an artist is just trying to be more expressive. It's all about trying to express yourself, right? A lot of us as just people, I mean, half of us come to cons and stuff is about freeing your expression. The whole world, it's hard to express yourself in the world out there because, you know,
They don't
it's the
get it.
world out there.
They don't get it.
And sometimes you're not rewarded for being as expressive as you want to be.
Yeah.
So part of us becoming artists is freeing that part and trying to express things. So any medium, you know. I wish I was better. I mean, I meet so many visual artists at cons, and I'm so envious because I'm like, I suck at drawing.
Yeah, me too.
Like I'm so bad. And people are like, you know, it's like when you sign an autograph for an artist, always like, draw something for me. And I'm like, I suck at this. What are you gonna draw? Like, draw Zuko. I'm like, okay. Here's a stick figure of Janky Zuko. But, yeah, but I respect all mediums, I guess. Different things for different things, you know? Yes, over, behind, right there. Yeah.
Oh, are you a part of a union, or are you just that good?
What do you mean, like a working?
SAG?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
You don't have to become a SAG.
When I was 10. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, unions, there's SAG and AFTRA union, which is good, and there's also a theater union. So yeah, I'm a part of the union. One more job and you're SAG. And some money to join, which is kind of expensive these days, but hopefully your job pays for the first one. Yeah, it's just a part of it. The SAG, as actors, we are, you know, artists, and we're like freelance workers, but with the union, you know, you gotta pay dues and stuff, but we also get like medical and dental insurance and retirement stuff, which is cool. So I've been part of the union for a lot of years now.
I don't want to be part of the union yet.
You're still young. Your next job, come join us. Yes.
Excuse me. If you had to choose between doing, you know, poems and
which you like lean towards?
We don't have to choose, do we?
I mean, I'm just
Nowadays, that's a great thing is we don't have to choose. I don't know what I would choose. I mean, I'm most trained as an actor. Like I studied for 20 years straight through, pretty much, which is people are amazed by that because I have friends that, you go to college and you like get a degree in 4 years and you're like, you've been training for 20 years? I'm like, yeah. But I love it, and that's part of it. And even now that I'm not in a conservatory and I'm still training, I'm still training, you know what I'm saying? Every book you read, every movie you watch, every play you watch is still somewhere in your mind kind of like working out what you can do. And not just that, it's just like meeting people. But the great thing about being an actor is it's really the art of the human condition, right? So you're constantly, not like studying people, but you're kind of taking people in. Every person you meet can be a potential seed of a character that you play in the future, or someone can teach you a lesson that means something. But it's all connected, right? So if I do a character, that could lead to a poem, or that poem could lead to a song, or could lead to a painting that I'm never gonna paint. I'm gonna try to paint something bad. Yeah.
Out of all the roles that you either maybe tried out for and didn't get, or you had to turn down because you had other obligations, are there any particular roles that, looking back, you really wish you had been able to do?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many roles. The reality is we only book a small percentage of the roles that we actually audition for. But there's so many, great things that you've seen go by. I mean, I've auditioned for so many crazy projects. I can't really think. I don't know. I mean, a good one that I would have really wanted to play. I mean, I did audition for Zuko for the movie, and Dev got it, which would have been awesome. But Dev is, I love Dev Patel as an actor also. I didn't see the movie, but
Don't.
whatever.
Do not see it, Dante. Do not see it. Don't. Do not see it.
Other roles. There's always so many cool. There's every year you read for like a bunch of movies, and it's interesting. The ones you get, and the ones you don't get, and see how they do. I can't think of anything that really where you like would have been like I mean, I remember reading for Scent of a Woman. That was like I read for Batman Robin a few times in the live action. So I would have loved to do that, and yeah, that didn't happen. That was weird, because they kept auditioning. They were like, we want like an ethnic urban Robin, and I was like, oh cool. And so I kept reading with the casting and whatnot, and then they hired Chris O'Donnell, and I was like, that dude ain't ethnic or that dude is opposite of that. But yeah, there's certain things like that. But the whole thing too is you just kind of forget it. I mean, you can't dwell on the things you don't get, or you'll be depressed and insane. So you just kind of move on to the next thing and move on to the next role you're gonna do. Yes, Bo. What? What, man? What?
I'm the only one with Avatar questions.
It's okay. Go roll it.
All right. So on the set of both Avatar and The Legend of Korra, was there anything you wanted to see that may or may not have happened in the show? Your own personal fantasy or something in the show?
Zutara. Probably, Zutara. I thought, there were moments. I understand by the end of how it all happened. It's cool. But there were moments where not just me, but all of us.
Wow.
We're like, yo, I'm on that Zutara stuff right there.
They just didn't do it.
But it's cool. Sometimes it's cooler when it's like not canon. I think sometimes it's cooler.
It drives us crazy.
Yeah. Sometimes sometimes it's just not meant to be. Still cool. Yes, sir.
You know, different roles you take over the years. How do you keep them separate so that when you go into one new role, you don't take any other roles with you?
How do you keep the roles separate? I mean, they're all, it's kind of you do and you kind of don't. This is like the weird thing with acting, right? One of the things you learn when you're studying is that the character's stuck with you and you're stuck with the character. So you're always you. There's no you not being you, right? You're just bringing another character into it. So part of the reason why you're playing the character is because there's something in the character that's like you. So in a way, there's in a way there's always in the way that all the characters I've played in my career, like most actors, are connected in some way. They're connected through you. So that's part of the reason why you got hired for that job usually. So you do want to delineate your characters sometimes, what you're doing, and we try to do that as good as we want as actors, but the truth is, part of the reason why they hired you for certain roles is because, because it was like the other role that you played. In a lot of ways, Rufio and Zuko are very similar characters. Just one's a fire lord. One's a fire lord. The other's, he's also a leader, a Lost Boys. Yes.
Yeah, it's about the question I asked you on Friday.
Yes.
What did you think of it? Actually Rufio did try to be like Peter Pan a little bit, not the whole thing, because he got Pan's sword in the movie.
Yes.
He said he's the leader. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking Rufio wanted to be a good father and a good leader somehow.
Yeah, there's actually a script that we have right now that we're shopping, which is which will answer all those questions because it's the prequel to Hook. It's the Rufio story. So it's how it's how Rufio got to Neverland and how he became the leader of the Lost Boys. It's pretty cool. And the crazy thing is, this particular script is a musical. So the songs are amazing, and we're shopping it right now. We were shopping as a live action. It was gonna be. I wanted to cast a new young Rufio, but the way things are happening right now, it might be an animated project, and that way they want me to voice the character, which would be cool too.
One more question. This just popped in my head as a theory, okay?
Yes.
Since you're Zuko, okay, and you've grown up and had a son who turned out to be like a Zula, and then Zula had a daughter turned out to be like you, will you guys switch kids?
What?
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Right.
Isn't she
follow
like
what was going on there.
spider? Did she kill her mate?
Uh,
she gets pregnant?
You can't throw away your bad kids, can you?
No.
You gotta try to
true.
You gotta try to.
You can't dishonor them.
You can't dishonor them like that.
I like that, but I'm sure.
Yes. Slow, yes.
What made you try out for Zuko?
We auditioned for a bunch of stuff. It's just kind of the life of the actor. It's like you have agents and managers, and they're constantly giving you auditions and opportunities to work on new things. And so what made me try out is it's a cool character. I mean, quite honestly, I was actually in the middle of doing American Dragon Jake Long, and then this script came in. And so that was Disney, and they're like, oh, we gotta go over to Nickelodeon, you gotta do an audition for this thing called, I don't know if it's titled yet. Yeah, it's called Avatar. And so they gave me the script, and I was like, oh, cool. And I was a bad guy. I was like, oh, it's a bad guy. It's cool because I'm playing like the good kid on this other show. And then, to me, it didn't make any sense. Not didn't make any sense. I thought it was cool, but it was like an anime-inspired, epic Asian tale, right? And Nickelodeon? Like, no way. There's no way. Because you walk into Nickelodeon and there's especially at that time, there's this big white building with green slime on top of it, right? Yeah.
Yep.
It says Nickelodeon, and then you walk in and there's big portraits of SpongeBob SquarePants and Cat Dog. That's Nickelodeon, right? And then they give you a script that's anime, and you're like, this ain't gonna work. This ain't SpongeBob. But it became this phenomenal hit, and what do I know? I'm just an actor. Question, Jess in the back. Yes, you.
You were in an episode with Nick Cowdery. How did you feel to work with someone from that has glasses now feel awesome?
That is what?
Well, now it's known as Feel Awesome.
Oh, Channel Awesome. Yeah, someone asked that earlier. Great. Doug and his family are awesome. They're cool. Well, we actually met at a con, so sometimes at cons you make new friends, and it's all about collaborating with friends, especially online, and being creative, and those dudes are very creative and got me to do crazy stuff, like pelvis fire bending. Didn't know that we could do that. Questions? Yeah.
Do you have any part on writing the lines for Iron Fist?
No, Iron Fist. I played Iron Fist on the new Spider-Man. No, I actually didn't write any of those lines. Those are fun. Greg Saps is a good buddy of mine, so it's cool to work with him. Actually, during that I did like 2 episodes of that show, I think, 2 or 3 episodes. The weird thing about both times I did that show, we're doing all this fighting and stuff, but I had the hiccups. The worst thing for voice actors is the fucking hiccups.
Oh yeah.
It's because like you have the hiccups, right? I'm so screwed, and it happened both times. I think when we were doing the fighting, I don't know what was going on, but I got the hiccups, and I never get the hiccups. But somehow with the fight scenes, I don't know. But my memory of those episodes are like, dude, I have the hiccups again. And you're trying to say the line in between the hiccup. You're so screwed. Yes.
What were some of your favorite movies and cartoons growing up?
Yeah, my favorite cartoons, I mean, American stuff was like the Transformers, and I was a big Thundercat fan. I loved a show called Silverhawks back in the day. And then we got anime coming, we had animated, my cousin was actually living in Japan, so they would always come back and bring anime stuff. So we watched stuff like Robotech, and like we call it G-Force. It's actually called what's it? Yes. What is it? Battle of the Planets. Yeah, we call it G-Force. I don't know why, but we love that. Ghost Big Racer, like those kind of things. But then also like Scooby-Doo, the Smurfs, like Saturday morning stuff. Like Fraggle Rock. Stuff like that. Movies growing up, Grease. I think I watched Grease and like Mary Poppins like every day. And I still love, you know those movies that you would like, your parents would like make you watch when they want you to like shut up. Yeah. So like Grease, I love Grease. Like me and my brothers, my first performance of anything ever in my life was Go Grease Lightning at like the neighborhood Christmas like show. And we were like super young, like I think I was like 8, and we're like singing Go Grease Lightning. And like they curse, like when you grow up, it's very sexual.
Yeah.
And they also curse in it, but we had no clue. We were like 8-year-old kids with grease in our hair, trying to, you know, Danny Zuko and Nikki. Like, Grease Lightning, Go Grease Lightning. So I love it. Question? Was it you? Yes? One of you? Yeah.
If you had an opportunity to work with any person, living or dead, just off the top of your head.
That's hard. Not really. I mean, the actor is like Marlon Brando, right? Because Marlon Brando's like the god. He's passed away. Al Pacino. Like Pacino, De Niro. As an actor, it's like there's this lineage of actors that a lot of us like kind of chase, and it's like that lineage, right? It's Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, De Niro, I mean Montgomery Clift, James Dean. I mean, it goes down to today. So there's those guys we want to act with. But you know, there's also a ton of women that are amazing, from the classic actresses to today. I don't know. I mean, there's so many people that I probably want to work with. But if anyone, you know, it's like Marlon Brando, like Marlon Brando. Questions? Yes. Yeah.
Growing up, or what was your favorite Filipino food growing up?
My mom's lumpia, right? So my mom actually had a lumpia company growing up, and so she sold lumpia in the neighborhood, and that was like awesome. There's actually my local town. They did like a article on her and her lumpia, and there's a picture of me like eating lumpia, and I'm like 4, like a big picture of me like so silly. And my mom used to make, for people that know, like lumpia is like a it's kind of like like an egg roll, but it's a Filipino fried spring roll. But it's just different because it's Filipino. But then my mom would make the wrappers fresh, right? So it's like she has like this dough, and then you like make the wrapper on. It's like on the pancake thing, and then we would make it with her. And so my memory is weird. And we used to eat the wrappers like uncooked. Yes.
How old were you, or how long did it take you to understand all the random lingo they throw into contracts?
I still don't understand that. I mean, the thing is, I don't really understand that kind of stuff, but I mean, I kind of do a little bit. But that's why we have agents and managers, and always looking at contracts. And I mean, I'm producing now also, and I've gotten in trouble. Unless you have lawyers. I don't know. I'm really a creative person, and I just want to really create. You know, the thing is, I do it all for free most of the time. Like most actors are like, you do it for free. I mean, you don't. When we're really doing a job, they're really paying us for all the months we're not working, or the waiting, or the auditioning, or the hustling for the next job. I always feel like you're really getting paid for that kind of stuff, because to just do the work, we all do that for free, you know? It's all the other stuff that you ultimately, it feels like you end up getting paid for. Yes?
Most, when me or?
Oh, over there.
What are some of your most favorite memories from any days from like voice acting?
A lot. The great memories from those days, from all doing the voicing, is really like in between the scenes, because you form these great relationships with people over years, including the actors and like the directors and all the producers. So part of it's like kind of like a therapy session, right? So we get together like once a week for years, catch up on each other's lives. You know, who are you dating today or these days, or who you're breaking up with, or someone's going through something. So it's just kind of like growing. It's like kind of like high school, like in a weird way. Like high school, and then, you know, you're like, oh, I went on a date with this person. Like, no way. Like that girl's horrible. You're like, come on, she's nice. So my memory is just kind of like hanging out with the whole American Dragon crew. Very cool, and then also like me and May both showed at the same time. And when we started, May was like, I think when I first met May, she was maybe 12 or 13. And then seeing her kind of grow up, like I remember her getting her license and like driving to work for the first time by herself. Like, oh wow, you're so grown up now. And then seeing her in a club for the first time. I was like, yo, I should be at this club if you're at this club. Like, what are you doing here? So now, if I see her at a club, I just leave. No, I don't, she's cool. Yes, right. Yeah. You can't see it, I know.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone asked this, but did they ever plan on doing any kind of animated version to find out what happened to Zuko's mother?
It's in the comic books. Yeah, you gotta check the comic book. I wish they would have animated it, but the comic books are cool. It's an interesting story. It's called The Search, right? Yeah, The Search. Yeah. Check it out. You're slacking on your avatar. Yeah. Red Ranger, what's up?
Not an anime question, but will there be a Blood and Bone 2?
Man, there should be a Blood and Bone 2, shouldn't there? Yeah, I love Blood and Bone. I got a whole phone call to my Jared White. Blood and Bones is like this martial art film I did with all these UFC fighters and stuff like that. And I don't fight, but I did get my ass kicked. And I did talk a lot of trash. And I was pimping though. You see my car, my suits? I was a character named Pinball. If you haven't seen it, you can watch it and be offended. It was cool, it's fun. I want to do that movie because I think me and Mike have a really good relationship. Yes.
Do you have any like works that you regret doing, or things you wish you could have done better?
Yeah, I mean, I don't regret anything. You know, there's like, it's all work. I mean, some things are better than others. Yeah. I mean, we all do bad work, but it's also fun. Like, it's cool to kind of, I think, have like bad stuff. It's kind of like just part of your life. Not bad. The thing about it is, yeah, it could be a bad project. Like, you could do something and be like, that movie sucked. And you're like, okay, all right, maybe it wasn't that good. It's not my fault. But the other thing is what people don't understand is sometimes, well, like I said, critics or people that see the movies, they critique the film, that's cool. And whether you like it or not, that's on you, whatever your tastes are. But for actors and filmmakers, when we're going to do a movie or a project, it's not just the project, right? It's our life. Not like the art's our life, but like if I shot a movie with someone for like 6 weeks and we were in another, like we were in Austin, Texas, or we're in Bulgaria, or we're in Toronto, and whether or not the movie turned out well, it's like, I spent like 2-3 months with these people. Like those are like friends and lives, or like you dated these girls, or someone, all those people got married. Like part of it is like relationships you build, and then later on you're like, oh, that was part of your life, right? So people always ask like, what's your favorite film, or how this movie or that movie, and I try to explain to them that when you watch a movie as an audience, and you're impacted as an audience because of the story and whatnot, it's beautiful, and that's why we do our art. But when I watch a movie sometimes, or a lot of times, it's more like looking at a photo album of my life, right? You're like watching the movie, and you're like remembering about certain things that happened on the set on certain days, or oh, I gotta call that person, or oh God, I used to date that person, or anything. There's like all these things, so you're like, it's like, it has a different feeling, because so movies don't just become about the art, it becomes about that time in my life and those people that were in my life at that time, which is cool. Yes?
What did you think about the last episode of Cora?
I thought it was cool. You know, that Cora, the whole story of Cora like got really intense, right?
Yeah.
I think like our group, like the first series was like a little more basic of everything, and then as a response to the audience, which is great, the stories got so much more complex, and Cora got way more complex in the series, which is beautiful. And then I think how it wrapped up, and the chances and the risks they took, it's beautiful, awesome. So I was really, I'm never ceased to be impressed with Michael Brown, so I expect nothing less. Suko, what's up? Yes, with the beard.
Yes.
You with the thick beard. I wish I could grow one. Not really, but it'd be cool if I could. I got a goatee at best. Wispy.
Dante, you have 5 minutes.
Okay.
What's the funnest experience you had in a booth? Like the funniest, or you took your shirt off and started partying out, or something? Something weird in the booth.
In the booth?
Yeah.
I was like, in life? I don't want to do that. In the booth? No, I'm pretty, I don't know, I'm pretty kind of like a chill kind of dude, so. Even when crazy stuff is going on, I kind of do that, kind of sits back and watches.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not that
And
like,
laughs.
I'm like that dude. I mean, I'm enjoying myself, and I'll enjoy it for other people, but I'm like I'm chill kind of dude. So in a few more minutes, we'll do like 2 more questions. So we're gonna go right here in the red shirt.
What's the craziest thing you've seen?
Nothing crazy that I saw, but you know, when you're in the booth with like Grey DeLisle and Kevin Michael Richardson, and they're like both like crazy, they talk a lot, banter, and kind of like foul mouth, right? And so they're gonna start talking crazy, and Grey's like super sexy of a woman, and her voice is super sexy, and then Kevin is like crazy, like they just start talking about crazy sexual stuff, and you're in the booth like, dude, I wish we could record this right now, because people would flip out. But so it's more like that kind of madness going on. So last question in the back. Yes. Would I ever want to drag it up again? Of course, all the time. Drag it up. So we'll do one more question. That was so quick. Right here.
If you were Frodo,
Oh
who would you take to Mordor?
I don't know. I don't trust the crew. The crew would have to do casting. We did the escape room last night, and we escaped. Have you guys done it? It's pretty awesome. But I was drunk. So I wasn't much help. Thank you guys for hanging out with me this weekend. Have a good rest of the day.